In today's video, I'm going to be decorating my 3-year journal for the months of October and November, so stay tuned. Hey guys, I'm Tracy and I want to welcome you back to my channel. I want to thank you all so much for stopping by. And yes, I am on the last few months in my 3-year journal. And once I finish setting this up for the year, I'm done with the setup for the next 3 years. So what does a setup entail? It entails me first choosing the prompts, which fortunately for you guys, I've already done. I've actually already written those on the pages. So that is like the most time consuming part of it because I have to search my prompts and I need it my phone. So I was like, let me just put them on the page. So I do come up with 12 prompts for the month. But I do like to kind of make it cute because I'm going to be using these pages for the next 3 years. And then after that, this will be used as kind of like a memory kind of journal. And because this is mostly text, actually it's pretty much 95 to 98% text. I need something to like draw the eye to it because I'm not using photos or anything like that. So I figured I would decorate it with stickers. I usually do, or I shouldn't say usually do, I do have a cover page here. What I do is I just throw stickers, and this is the monthly cover that says whatever month it is. So in this case, October. And then over here, I usually just throw some stickers, but I leave room to put the monthly highlights for 25, 26, and 27. So whatever is that one thing that month that I want to highlight for October 2025 would go here. 2020, that's kind of the thought process behind it. I will say I've struggled with that part. I have been on point with all of my prompts. This entire journal is filled out with the exception of these 2 prompts that are left for September. I still have 2 days left, so I will do one tonight and one tomorrow. I might do them both tomorrow because they kind of go hand in hand. I don't really want to do that. That's not something that like the intention was, but they do go hand in hand. These are 2 of the prompts that are always kind of at the end of the month, so they are repetitive. It's like, what do you want to bring with you in October and what do you want to leave behind in September? I feel like they're really good reflection questions, so I just continue those. So I do need to do those 2 prompts, but for everything else, all of my other prompts are now filled for this entire year. The only thing is, last month, as you could see when I showed you guys October, I did not decorate. I just wrote the prompts. And I think there's several more months in here. I shouldn't say several. There's probably 2 or 3 other months in here I did not decorate. My thought process is I'll just wait. Maybe I'll decorate it next year or maybe I'll just continue for that month out without decorating it. But we are going to be decorating for October and November, and I've already pulled out stickers. Now I'm going to skip the cover pages first, and we're actually going to go ahead and decorate the prompt pages. So really quickly, when I was talking about the setup and then I just kind of jumped around and completely didn't talk too much about the setup. Basically what I do is I pick 12 prompts a month. The 12 came from me dividing the amount of pages I had total in this book by how many pages I wanted to kind of use for extra pages, like end of the year highlights. See, I have pages already reserved for the end of the year. And then I also have some intro pages that I also will do at the end of the year, but I wanted these to be intro pages, and then these are going to be more reflections. So I think these are going to be more photos, and then these are going to be more reflections. So what I did is I subtracted that, and then I was left with so many pages, and that gave me like 14 pages a month. And then I have 2 pages that are cover pages, and that left me 12 pages. And for me, 12 has been a great number because it has been very manageable for me to come in here 12 times throughout the month and just write something down. Obviously, I don't have tons of space, which is how I like it. Someone who doesn't really spend much time journaling, this is perfect. So it's worked really, really well. I did film my initial setup video of this journal back in December of 2024. So definitely check out that video. I will link it down in the description box just in case you're interested in like kind of finding out more about all of those intro pages and things like that. So what we're going to do today, like I said, I'm going to throw stickers on here. I'm going to speed that up. And while I'm speeding it up, I will go over all of the prompts with you guys. All of these prompts actually came from just random websites. They have not come from my usual websites. I usually use like the Coffee Monster Co. blog. I did not use that this month. Some of these I actually just came up with myself. Things that I just wanted to do this month, and I thought it would be kind of fun to capture, whether it be in words or photos. There are a couple of photo prompts I put in here, which is something I hadn't really done for the rest of the journal. And then there's some like currently prompts in here because I hadn't really done that in the rest of the journal either. So yeah, I will kind of go over those as I'm decorating and probably mix that in with music because there's not gonna be that much to go over. So let's talk about decorating. For this, so the prompt pages, I'm gonna go fun. I've been going very, very flowery because it's just easy to decorate with flowers to kind of put a border around the prompt and maybe throw something at the bottom. But I'm going to try to push myself. I probably will use the flowers. All the flowers will get used. But I think some of these other things will be really cute. And I just wanted it to be fun. I wanted it to be Halloweenish. Just because I'm going to be doing fallish for the next month and maybe even September, because I haven't decorated that one yet. But yeah, so I'm going to use this sticker set. This is Posh Halloween, which unfortunately is sold out. I do not believe they're going to be restocking it, being that Halloween's right around the corner. But yeah, so we're going to be using that one. Then we're going to be using a Fall Love from Live Love Posh. And for November, I'm going to be using this one. I just thought this was really, really cool. And again, there were small enough elements here that it should be really, really easy for me to decorate the page without taking up much space. And that is one of the reasons why I did want to film this plan with me, just in case anybody had a journal or a planner where you were very limited on decorating space and you just wanted to see someone decorate kind of like in certain areas, but keep all of the actual written space. So that is what I'm going to do there. I have Autumn Allure also pulled because of the cover pages, but we'll like take a break and come back to that at the end. I will say I'm an affiliate for Live Love Posh, so you can use my discount code AGWP10 to save yourself 10%. And I do believe Fall Love is still available, plus a whole bunch of new sticker books and products. So definitely check out their website and definitely use my discount code to save yourself some money. And yeah, I think that's it. This is a notebook that came in a subscription box from Archer and Olive. So you cannot buy this off of their website. But who knows? Maybe they'll eventually bring this back as one of the bring back the favorites or something one time. And you may see it again. I am also an affiliate for Archer and Olive, discount code AGWP. I do keep you guys updated for sales and new releases in my community tab. So if this ever comes available, I will let you guys know because this is super cool. It's a super cool journal. It's like something that everybody can love. All right, I need to go ahead and start decorating because even sped up, we will be here all day if I don't get started. So I'm going to start with October, and I don't know how I'm going to do this. Sometimes I draw borders around it. I probably will do something like that. Maybe I'll do purple. Yeah, I use these Edding markers, fine tip pens, markers for the October prompts. And then I just use this Zebra Sarasa. This was one of their vintage pens. It's a 0.05, but it's really nice. Some 0.5s don't write this nice. So that's what I use for that. Okay, so I think now we're good with all of the supplies. So now let's get to speeding this up and getting a move on. So when I first thought about doing 2 months at a time, I didn't realize how much work it would be and how much time it would take. Because I'm doing like 2-page spreads, so basically I'm carrying over my decorations over the course of 2 pages. I end up doing 14 2-page spreads, y'all. That is a lot because basically there's 7 2-page spreads per month. 6 2-page spreads for my 12 prompts, and then the 2 cover pages. So all in all, this took me about an hour and a half to do, but that also included the time that it took for me to find prompts on the internet and write them down and things like that. So I guess for the decorating part, it probably took a little over an hour, but it takes me a really long time to decorate this particular journal just because I'm having to put the stickers in certain spots and not really be as free with it. So I just kind of wanted to, prep you that this is going to be a little bit longer than some of my usual sped up journaling videos. But I do think, some of you may want to see all of the spreads. So I decided to keep it in and go from there. I will tell you, you will definitely see a lot of me changing my mind throughout the course of decorating some of these spreads. I just couldn't figure out what I wanted. It was a little tough to do. Actually, believe it or not, it got simpler the further I got. I feel like November spreads turn out much better than October spreads. And some of that may just have been due to the ease of using the November stickers versus the October stickers, which are a lot more like decorative elements. Or it just maybe I finally got into my groove, or I was just trying to go simpler and ended up looking better. I don't know. But with that said, let me go ahead, stop talking about that because you'll see all of that when you see it. And now we are going to chat about the prompts that I use. Like I said, these prompts I just Googled October prompts and November prompts. However, for October, I ended up going with prompts that I just made up myself. There were just a lot of things that kind of came to mind as I sat down to start thinking about the prompts. So I think I might have pulled one or two from some online resources, but that was pretty much it. There are tons of prompts when it comes to like getting around to November, because a lot of people start doing daily journaling in November for gratitude and things like that. That's very popular around there. I think there's like 30 days of gratitude or something like that also for November. So you'll find a lot of journaling prompts for November. I just recommend Googling. Pinterest is also a very good resource. And as I mentioned, for prior months, I really used a lot of prompts from Coffee Monster Co. There's a blog. You can just type in Coffee Monster Co. blog and you will see journaling prompts on there. And there are journaling prompts for like the last few years, month by month. And there are a lot of really fun ones on there. There are some that are thought-provoking, but there are a lot of fun ones on there too. So if you want a good variety, I highly recommend checking that out. All right, so let's go ahead and start chatting about my prompts because I'm just in a chatty mood today, guys. All right, so for November, my first prompt is, what is the top to do on your fall or / October bucket list? So I went ahead and wrote this prompt, and then I realized I also have a prompt for September that said, what is on my September bucket list? But that's okay. It's fine. It's fine. They might be completely different. And then the second one is, take a photo of your current fall or Halloween decor. So I don't really decorate too much for Halloween, but for like fall, I kind of do just regular fallish vibes. I usually decorate my mantle and then have like a whole bunch of stuff around it. So who knows? It might be the same look for the next 3 years, but I just thought it was something fun to capture. So that was one of my prompts. And then, what is a piece of advice you often give to others but don't practice yourself? Again, so, we had some fun ones at the beginning. Now we're getting into the thought-provoking stuff. So I like to do a little mix. A lot of mine do end up being thought-provoking, but I do like to throw in like a fun one every once in a while. And then the next prompt is, what do you need to get done by the end of the year, and what do you want to get done by the end of the year? Now, I put both of these questions on the same page. So I do have more questions now especially for October, than I do for most months, just because I did double up on prompts on certain pages, just because I thought they went well together. So I'm like, let's just add 2 questions for this one prompt. And then this one I did find on the internet, and I thought this was a really cool question, and I have absolutely no idea how I'm going to answer it, but that's, a problem for me next week or week after, whenever I get to this prompt. It is, quote, be the energy you want to be. No, sorry, be the energy you want to attract, end quote. Based on what you're attracting, what kind of energy are you? That's thought-provoking, right? The next question is, what do you expect your life to look like next year? Figure, now's a good time to look at it because I feel like I'll be doing a lot of reflecting come December. So let's just start thinking about what is it going to look like next October. And then here's another multiple question prompt day. What are you currently reading? What are you currently watching? What are you currently listening to? I could have totally combine this into one prompt and say, what are you currently reading, watching, listening to? But for some reason, I chose to write 3 separate questions on the one page for that. That's okay. I had space to do it. And then I have a photo prompt. Take a photo of nature. I kept it simple at first. I was thinking about like take a picture of your yard, take a picture out your window of outside your window. But then I was like, let's just say nature because maybe I'll go on a walk or maybe I'll go, I live in Virginia and I'm not very far from the mountains, like 45 minutes away. So I'm like, if I go there, maybe I want to take a picture of like the fall foliage and the mountains or something like that. So I just left it blank. What are you dressing up for? What are you dressing up as for Halloween? If nothing, write about a favorite past costume. So, I can't say that I'm going to dress up for the next 3 years. So I'm like, if not, I can just write about a past costume. What do you value most right now? Meaning today. And then final 2 questions. What do you want to leave behind in October? And what do you want to take with you in November? Those are 2 separate questions, but I do like to have them on pages opposite of one another because they are kind of your monthly reflections. And now let's chat about my November questions. What is something you can work on this month? So I think I did this word for word. I think this is something that I found because that doesn't sound like something I would have created. I would have said, what is something you want to work on this month? But what is something you can work on this month? I think that I like the word can on there, believe it or not. I feel like it changes the question a little bit. We'll see how I answer it. If I answer it with the word can or do I answer it more of want? We'll see. I have to make a point. I might have to underline the word can because I think that's different. It's like almost like what are you going to work on this month because you can do it versus what you want to do, but you might not be able to. Does that make sense? And then the next prompt is when you think about the current state of your life, what are you most proud of? What is inside your self-care toolkit? And then we have a semi-fun one here. Doodle something that expresses your current mood. So it could be an emoji. It could be bubble letters. Who knows? And then I finally wrote a free write. I wanted to have a free space possibly every month or every couple of months. I have not had a free space and I don't know how long. Just basically something where I can just write about whatever. Maybe I'll create something for 2025 and then just duplicate that for 26 and 27. So it might end up being prompt based in a way. But I do like to have these free writes just because you don't know what's going to come up throughout the month that you might be like, okay, I want to write about this. So I haven't had as many as I like to. I do think at the beginning of the year, my thought was to have at least one a month. Yeah, it hasn't happened. I completely forgot about that. List 2 current expectations you have for yourself. And then the second part of that question is, are they realistic? Yeah, that's the question, right? And then now we start getting into kind of your general Thanksgiving type questions. What are your Thanksgiving plans, day or weekend? So do I just want to talk about what my Thanksgiving day plans are, or what are my Thanksgiving weekend plans? Because I usually have a 5-day weekend over the course of Thanksgiving. And I can pretty much tell you, aside from the big, dinner with my parents, I usually spend it shopping. List 3 things you are grateful for so far this month. I wanted to kind of make that more limited to the month instead of just general. And here we go. Here's some fun questions, but I'll chat about this in a moment. So I have, what stores did you set your alarm for? I should have said, what sales did you set your alarm for? And then the other one is, what did you buy for Black Friday, Cyber Monday? So backstory, like when I was a kid, me and my dad would wake up super early in the morning. This was before online purchasing. And we would wait outside in the freezing cold. We wouldn't get there super early. We weren't the ones that pulled out the camping chairs or anything like that. But we would get there 4 in the morning because the stores were open usually around 5 or 6. We would definitely get there around 4. And to be completely honest, a lot of times there was something that we wouldn't mind getting if we could get it, but we really could care less. We were there for the experience. It was so much fun, and it was fun watching people. So yeah, it was worth getting up early, standing in the cold, just to watch people act a fool to try to get their item that they could probably get 2 weeks later for just 20 bucks more. But yeah, sometimes we would go wait and then just buy like DVDs or something because it was all about the experience. So I love Black Friday. I don't go out very much anymore, especially for the early morning sales. Although I will say a few years ago, I ended up going to Kohl's really early and it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. And because they had opened up on Thanksgiving or opened up at midnight, it was so quiet in there at 6 a.m. I just walked around. I think that was back in the day when they gave, when I say back in the day, I mean like 4 years ago, when they gave like $10 off coupons of like a $10 purchase. And that's the only reason why I went in there, to get me like a cup or something. Oh my gosh, this has turned into not just what my prompts are, but just memories, but that's okay. We have a lot of video to watch. And then finally, it is what do I want to leave behind in November and what do I want to take with me into December? Again, those are going to be recurring prompts every single month. So there we have it. Those are the prompts that I chose for October and November. I do think December prompts are probably going to be more end of the year reflective type prompts. There probably will be some holiday related prompts. There might be some work related end of the year prompts as well. I would like to kind of capture that, and probably a few looking ahead type prompts. So, like I said, I probably will not be sharing that with you guys just because I need to set my prompts up at the end of the month, and I just know it's going to be super busy at the end of November. So I'll probably just do that in my own time. All right, guys, I'm going to throw in some music. I think we only have like, about 5 spreads left. Gosh, I can't believe there's so many left. But I'll pop in some music so that way you can kind of watch the rest of them, get created, and then I will come back in to wrap everything up. All right, guys, final flip through. So here is October. So I did use a lot of stickers here. I felt like I did run into issues just trying to figure out how to use these types of elements on the page. Plus my October questions were a little long compared to my November ones, but I really like this one. This one in particular, now that I look at it, this might be one of my favorites in October with the washi. I don't know why. This one I did go over into 2025 a lot because it's just take a photo. So I could put a photo and then write what the photo is. I have plenty of room. If for some reason I needed more space, I could add a cute little box there. And then this one is what are you dressing up for as Halloween? So I thought boo worked there. Again, it's not going to really require much journaling. It might be a photo. And then here I started running out of ideas. So we just kind of went with whatever was left over. And then here's November. I really like this. I like how clean this looks. I think this, because this is down here, it just didn't need as much. I wish I had a bigger November, but my monthly stickers are pretty small. And now this is where I started kind of playing around with stickers to kind of frame my prompt instead of using washi or pen. This one I just used florals. I really, really like it. I can see where it's limiting some of my 2025 space, but I don't really know that I'm going to have too much to write anyway. I really like this one. Again, another super simple one, just like the October one that stood out to me. This is super simplistic. I think I just like how this is. It's funny how I found a style that I liked after I've like already decorated 11 months. Because this is a really good like way to decorate, very minimal. This one is kind of just using the washi here as like a decorative element. And then I did border the page with washi. And then I just threw some stickers randomly. I like this one too with the pumpkins and the washi. Again, I think it's really cute. And then this one I cut in half and then put the rest over here. It's covering up 2027, but come on. We're in November. We're going to know what that is. And then here we go. Again, super simple, but I really, really like it. And then here's the final one. Which one was I missing the years? Where were the years missing? It's this one. I don't know how I missed the years here and didn't do it over here. So whatever. But there we go, guys. So yeah, I wanted to film this video for you because after I finish setting it up, I'm done. I probably will not have a setup in December. I just find the end of November, beginning of December is going to be so busy that I'm probably just going to do it off camera if I even get around to decorating it. So it might be another month where I just write the prompts. This is how the book is holding up. I only have a few prompts that are like photo based. Most of them are just words based. So I don't think it's going to get much thicker because I'm just going to be filling it in with text. But this book is held up pretty well. Like I said, I don't foresee it getting much thicker. But yeah, it's been fun. Actually, I mean, sometimes it's been a lot of work though. It's been fun, but it's been a lot of work. It took me a while to do it today, taking in all the time that I had to find the prompts, write the prompts. I did not record that portion. I think it took about an hour and a half. That's a long time. Plus, you know, it takes me a while to decorate when I'm trying to figure out where to place things. And I feel like on these pages, I had to be a little bit more strategic, which sometimes is a little bit more time consuming. It's a lot quicker when you just throw stickers down and be done with it. So yeah, like I said, I kind of wanted to share this because I felt like it's a really good journal for me. I've really enjoyed it as someone who struggles with journaling. I really enjoyed the prompt-based journaling. I initially did not think I was going to be decorating it, but I've actually enjoyed looking back through it because it's decorated. I just think it's pretty. So I do like the fact that it is decorated now that it's pretty much all decorated. So yeah, I just wanted to share it just in case it gave you guys some ideas, because unfortunately at the end of this year, you guys won't be seeing this anymore. I'll just be finishing out the last 2 years writing only. I really can't do many flip throughs, if any at all, just because some of these are really, really personal type questions. It is to kind of get me thinking, like whether or not it's like mental type questions or self-reflective or whatever. So that's the reason why I won't be sharing those on my channel, but I did want to at least share a few setups just in case it gave you some ideas. So there we go, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please press that like button, and I hope you would also consider checking out some my other videos while you're at it. So if you have yet to subscribe, I hope you would also consider subscribing to my channel. That's all I have for now. I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. Until next time, bye.